2014. After a decade away from the top flight, Leicester City were back in the Premier League. In that same season, they were fighting relegation. But now, they're on the verge of winning the title. An achievement that will go down as one of the most incredible in the history of team sports. What a difference a year makes. But how did a small club like Leicester City reach this point? This wasn't supposed to happen. They're not Arsenal, Chelsea, Manchester United or Manchester City. No, they're not. They're Leicester City. And this is their story. A Thai-led consortium bought Leicester in 2010 with the intention of turning the club into a global force in football. They might be living a fairy tale existence right now, but things weren't always as bright for the club. A controversial end-of-season tour to Thailand ended with a sex tape involving 3 of their players going viral and star striker Jamie Vardy racially abusing a Japanese casino goer. It led the club into a PR disaster. Nigel Pearson, the man who took them to the top flight, was sacked in 2015. In came a safe pair of hands, the vastly experienced Claudio Ranieri. Nicknamed the Tinkerman for his constant squad rotation, Ranieri was universally respected. But he never won a top-flight league title with any of his clubs in Europe. Initially, the Italian's appointment was met with a question mark.
Everybody knocked him. We all said, oh my God, we don't want him.
I mean, there was a lot of sceptics and my father was probably one of them.
If there's a negative about somebody, people will cling to that negative.
After managing 15 different teams domestically and internationally, he's found himself the perfect formula with the Foxes.
I think he's just built on what Nigel Pearson, the foundations he laid in place, and obviously there was a good core to the group. There's a good team spirit, good camaraderie. He's gone back to a flat back 4, and he's getting the best out of Vardy and Mahrez as well, who have been so influential this season. So it's just the tactical side of it as well.
Vardy went on to break the Premier League record by scoring in 11 consecutive games, overtaking Ruud van Nistelrooy. Mahrez became the first African to win the prestigious PFA Player of the Year award, with Leicester players holding half the nominations.
My players is as well my sons. I love them, and I'm very happy for this big award or nomination.
But as luck played a part in their season, the Foxes had 4 times fewer injuries than Manchester City, with 18 compared to City's 69. Are you surprised that you haven't had any more injuries because of the style
no,
that you play?
I think yes. I think also we have a very, very great medical staff, technical staff, video staff. Very, very good things there are here in Leicester.
The core of their success? The backroom staff. Arsenal were reportedly targeting members of Leicester's player recruitment setup in a bid to overhaul their own scouting system.
They've always had to look in areas that other clubs aren't looking, and that's benefited them because they've found players like Mahrez and N'Golo Kante, Jamie Vardy, and they've proved to be such valuable acquisitions.
And he's right. In 2014, Leicester bought Mahrez for $500,000. At the beginning of 2016, his transfer value went from more than $6 million to over $43 million. And now Spanish giants Barcelona are said to be showing an interest. Well, the weather might be grim and the club slightly unfashionable, but Claudio Ranieri is proving to be that ray of light for Leicester City as they march towards their very first top-flight title. But no one is more surprised by the transformation than the fans themselves.
People keep saying to me, how do you feel about it? I don't know what the answer is.
I think as many of us did, wrote Leicester City off last year.
You're into Europe, fantastic.
I never thought I'd see this in my lifetime.
They play their hearts out every week.
It's absolutely dreamland.
But it's for every football fan in the country.
It's going to be big for the city.
The feeling I've got is good, but I couldn't explain what it is.
If we win, we've achieved the greatest sporting achievement in the history of team sport.
they've done something quite remarkable. They've actually changed the game of modern day football. And they've done it without spending the massive amounts of money like these so-called big clubs.